I was 27 when I chose to walk away from everything. My husband, our 3 children, and the home we had built together. From the outside, my life appeared ideal: a stable marriage, 3 beautiful kids, and a cozy house nestled in a peaceful suburb. But inside, I was unraveling. It felt like I was fading, piece by piece, consumed by routine and repetition. I had become someone's wife, someone's mother, but I no longer knew who I was. My husband wasn't abusive. He never shouted. In many ways, he was a good man, dependable, kind, always around. But that was just it. He was always there, but never with me. We had no fire, no real conversations, no emotional connection. It felt less like a marriage and more like a quiet partnership built around parenting logistics. In the hush of daily chores, folding clothes, stirring dinner while the kids bickered in the next room, I often caught myself wondering, is this really all there is? Then I met someone who shifted everything. He wasn't necessarily a better man, but he was different. He listened. He laughed at my jokes. He touched my arm when we spoke and looked at me like I mattered. I didn't set out to fall for him. It started with casual coffee, evolved into shared lunches, and eventually led to late-night conversations in his car. Before long, I thought I was in love. Looking back, I think I was just starved for connection, desperate to feel something again. The night I left is still vivid. My husband was upstairs, reading bedtime stories to our kids. I packed a small bag, scribbled a note, and left it on the kitchen table. I walked out the door without saying goodbye. I convinced myself it was the kinder choice, for them, for me. They were young. I told myself they'd understand one day. I told myself I had the right to choose myself, just this once. That first year felt like liberation. For the first time in years, I was free. I traveled with him. We stayed out late, slept in, and laughed without watching the clock. No school schedules, no diapers, no stack of unpaid bills on the counter. I felt light, reborn. But slowly, the illusion began to crumble. The man I had left everything for wasn't who I had built up in my mind. When I needed closeness, he withdrew. He craved attention but couldn't offer any. He cheated more than once. Whatever passion we had faded faster than I imagined. Within 5 years, I found myself alone again, older, worn out, and weighed down by regret. I reached out to my children, but they weren't children anymore. They had grown in my absence. The sweet faces I used to kiss goodbye each morning had been replaced by teenagers, then adults, each carrying their own pain, a pain I caused. I wrote letters. I sent presents. I showed up when they allowed me, birthdays, graduations, holidays. Sometimes they hugged me. Other times, they couldn't meet my eyes. I learned to accept the scraps of connection they offered. Their father never spoke a single word to me, not then, not ever. He didn't yell, didn't ask why, didn't demand an explanation. He simply closed the door and left it shut. He raised them by himself. He did the hard work I walked away from. He rebuilt a life where I no longer had a place, and never looked back. For a long time, I told myself I didn't blame him. But after 2 decades, I realized that I do, not for the distance, not even for the silence, but for never allowing me the chance to speak. For never asking what broke inside me. For never letting me apologize face to face. For making me feel like I had vanished completely. Today, I live alone. The man I abandoned everything for is long gone. One of my children visits during the holidays. Another sends me the occasional picture of my grandchildren. The third hasn't spoken to me in nearly 10 years. I don't know if I'll ever be the kind of mother they need. But I still hope. Even now, after all these years, I think of their father. I wonder what he feels when he sees my name light up on their phones. I wonder if he ever thinks of the woman I once was, before I lost myself. I wonder if he ever loved me enough to be this wounded. But most of all, I wonder why he never spoke a word, not one. Because after all this time, with all the pain and space between us, his silence remains the loudest thing I've ever heard.